Dude, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Johnny Hendricks world, man. Dude, I love it.
First, how about an update on the leg? What's going on?
Man, I'm about this baby next week, so I'm excited about that. Recovery's going great. I'm a couple weeks ahead of schedule. They thought it was going to be about 12 weeks before I got out of the boot. Technically, I would have been out of this week, but my doctor couldn't see me before I had to come out here. So I get out of this next week, start doing some light training. I've already started with some striking, some conditioning, just to make my body strong. And when my leg catches up, I think the rest of the body will bring it up to speed.
Did you ever send Kevin, the rest of his money?
I sent it to him, but it don't look like he was terribly grateful. I saw some stuff on the media. He was surprised I fought him after he was in the hospital and things like that. But yeah, I did it. I didn't do it for do it for him to respond in a certain way. I just thought it was the right thing to do. I remember I was that young kid fighting in Strikeforce and barely making it. And before I fought Paul Daly, I was so broke. I couldn't pay my bills, and I just remember that, and that's why I did it.
I'm sorry, what all did your leg procedure entail?
I had to have a surgery, so basically what they did, I think it's because I walked like 2 miles after I broke it, and I didn't know I broke it, so my bones were a little bit displaced. One was like that, and one was sitting on top of the other one. If the one that was sitting on top had not been there, I would have just healed normally, but they didn't want me to calcify, and basically your foot's that thick. So if I have a bump on top and bottom, then I would feel like I have rocks in my shoes. So they basically put pins in both of the metatarsals that were broken, and I had those in there for 6 weeks. Those pins came out, and then I came out of the cast 4 weeks after that.
Now, you just walked past, and I thought, what I saw on Twitter, Johnny just left, you just walked in, that'd be a nice little dance, right? I thought
I'm not against it. I think Johnny know I respect him. He respects me. It's no. We talked about this UFC. I forget what the 20th anniversary. He was like, "Man, you coming for me next? I'm not really coming for anybody. I'm coming for the world title. I'm coming to be the best in the world." A lot of guys want a title shot. I don't want a title shot. I want an opportunity to prove I'm the best fighter in the world, and I believe I am. I believe I'm the strongest. I believe I'm the fastest. I believe I'm well-rounded, and I don't know if it fits in his time plan or makes sense for what he has in his future. But it's nothing personal. It's not that I'm calling him out or I don't like him, because he knows how I feel about him, but he might be the person that gets me to the title shot, and that's all I want.
And I also saw that on, I think you posted on Instagram, but you're not letting that foot slow you down.
Hell no.
You got a little roller chair, heavy bag.
I put one video out of me training, not sitting on my butt, not getting lazy, not getting huge. Did gain a couple pounds, but I didn't, crack the twos. After I did, I had all these companies sending me devices and rollers and scooters and prosthetic-looking legs. So I thought that was encouragement, and they also saw that it was getting some good social media activity. So I've been boxing. Then I started doing a lot of upper body stuff. I don't need to get a ton bigger. I think I'm pretty strong as is. So I just try to maintain that strength and make sure that I can go out there and get 5-part rounds up.
Was that a worry for you when they told you how long you were going to be out, that your weight was going to be something you had to control?
No, I knew I was going to be out. If I wouldn't have broken my foot, you got to realize that I'm not Donald Cerrone. I fight fights that make sense, and the reason why he hasn't fought for a world title yet is because that dude, I love it, and I love watching it, and I think you guys do as well, but it doesn't particularly put you in a position to fight for a world title. So for me personally, I wouldn't have fought before July or August anyway, so I wasn't really worried about the time. I got a new daughter, and I would have been out doing movies. I'd have been out, helping guys. I'd have been training. So the time that I needed to be home with my family, my son, my wife, and my new daughter, I think God had something, bigger and planned for me, and it worked out perfectly.
What's the name out there? Who makes sense for you?
I think me and Johnny is a good fight. Really, to be honest, I really don't see a ton of other fights that make a lot of sense for me right now. If you think about 1, 2, and 3, the champions fighting the number 2 guy. The number 1 guy just came off a victory against Matt Brown. I'm the number 3 guy. The number 4 guy is fighting Thiago Alves. The number 5 guy is the guy that lost to Johnny. So if you look at it, as a lot of fights don't make a ton of sense. You know, it's a small cluster of guys that are right at the elite level, and I feel like if I'm gonna risk it, man, I want to roll the dice and throw all the marbles in there. Why am I gonna fight like a number 10 rank or a number 15 rank guys that's gonna probably be as equally as tough as some of these top guys? You know, I want to be able to know that a victory is gonna secure me a spot to prove I'm the best in the world.
That's kind of the tough spot you're in right now, that high top 10, because depending on who has a fight, who's injured, who's actually available, there's a chance that there might not be any fights that make sense for you. You'll have to take something that's kind of a loose league, someone that's not ranked or ranked below you. I mean, would you take a fight just to keep busy?
I can wait as well.
How long would you be willing to wait?
I'm not willing to wait forever, but I don't think I have to. I think, like you said, people get injured, and it can also mean that I'm available. So, it's not always a bad thing. It's bad for that person. I don't want to wish any injury upon anyone, but I think that being patient, sometimes you want to go out there, you want to fight this guy, you want to fight that guy, and then what if you go out there and lose that fight? And now, I've already had a quote-unquote number one contendership fight. I can't put myself in a position and not be prepared and not be ready and not seize the moment, because I'm going to have to do that all over again. And, nobody wants – like Matt Brown. Came up, he was fighting Robbie Lawler, lost. Came up, he's fighting Johnny Hendricks, lost. Do you guys really want to see him quickly do that again and be in a number one contendership fight? So the next time I get that opportunity to fight one of those guys, I want to be ready and I want to win and I want to go to the next level.
Are you happy with – oh, go ahead.
Is it too early to kind of give yourself a timeline of what month you'd like to fight, or is it you got to wait till that boot comes off before you kind of –
Well, this boot, between me and you, this boot's been off. I'm just keeping it on because you guys got the camera on. I want my doctor and my wife to kick my butt. But I feel better actually walking in tennis shoes because in my dorsiflexion, I can move forward. When you have a broken bone, applying weight to your foot is good. It makes the bone stronger and more dense. It's not going to injure it. It's healed, and it's probably stronger than it was before I broke it. So for me, I told the UFC July. I told them late July. I told them early August. I said, if you make me a fight that makes sense, I get that butt back there, by UFC 189, and that's when I was talking about Johnny Hendricks. So I haven't heard back. I haven't heard yes, but I haven't heard no. So with me, I'm just staying positive and seeing what happens.
Are you happy with the ranking systems right now? Do you think they're accurate?
I don't know if we really need them. What are we having for? You got the same guys fighting for the world title over and over again. Why do we need a ranking system? What does it mean? You got a guy that, is fifth in our division who's never been to beat a top 10 guy in his life. How are you fifth and you lost to Dong Young Kim, and how is he ninth? And he's beating you and Nate Diaz and everybody else. So I'm not knocking the system. It kind of gives you guys a just to where we're sitting at, and it makes good when you match them fights up and you see the number on the side of them. But in actuality, it's really seizing the moment, getting an opportunity, fighting, and winning those fights.
It's all about competition for you. It's never really about beef. But what could be some of the most disrespectful things that somebody could do to really get you upset, to make you want to fight them?
Well, I don't want to really say that because somebody will have the nerve to try it. It's never about beef for me. I was just talking to Johnny not too long ago, and I've been petitioning for a fight against him. One thing that I think is very few guys in the sport. I think Carlos Condit, well, not in the sport, in our weight class. Carlos Condit, I think Johnny Hendricks, I think myself. We understand it's a competition. We understand that we're trying to provide for our families, and it's a big pay discrepancy between being a world champion and being a top fighter. There's no joke about that. So why wouldn't you want to put yourself in a position where you can change your family's life and put yourself in where you're more economically stable and you're more job security in the UFC? So that's the ultimate goal. So it's nothing personal. Somebody would have to do something say something towards my family or my kids, and they'll see the side they want to see.
Now
they'll see some of the Ferguson come out.
Now you were talking about like you would have been doing movies and things like that. What movies? What are you looking forward to doing? What are you going to do in movies and entertainment?
I had 3 movies that I was supposed to do before I broke them. I had a lead role. I can't disclose the movie because they haven't started filming yet. They actually postponed it till I got back. So I had a lead role in a movie as a detective. I just did it.
Acting chops?
Yeah. I got a little something. So I had a movie I just did not too long ago. I did the remake of Kickboxer. So I got a pretty decent scene in there with Mr. GSP. And then Straight Outta Compton's coming out August 14th. Man, that movie is going to be ridiculous. So NWA has finally put together a biopic. I'm one of the characters in. I play T-Bone. He's one of the rappers from the Lynch Mob. That comes out August 14th. And it was just like, being a part of history. Everybody likes NWA. I don't care how old you are, what your skin color is, what neighborhood you brought up in. They really told a great story about what was going on in the neighborhood. So it was great to work on that, be with Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and all these greats.
Are you a big 90s hip-hop head?
Yeah, man, some of the hip-hop now is they're not really rapping about much. They just got a nice beat and a cool dance. But I think the 90s and the early 2000s had more substance and more creativity in their lyrics.
Who's your favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper, somebody asked me that the other day. It's hard to say,
Top 5.
My top 5, okay. I like Philadelphia Freeway personally because he didn't last very long because I think his type of rapping and his style of rapping wasn't commercial enough. I like Ludacris, I like T.I., I like Pac and Biggie, but I don't. They're not at the top of my list for some reason, and I don't think Biggie should have been compared to Tupac yet because he hadn't reached that point. I think people were seeing where Biggie was going to go. So Tupac for sure. That's a hard question. I'll have to listen to some music.
Ooh, Eric B. and Rakim.
Eric B. Rakim for sure. Who? Nas, yeah, I like Nas. I forgot about Nas. Yeah, see, once you guys start naming them, when y'all start naming the rappers, then it'll bring out some more.
Your list was good.
Outkast for sure. Outkast is a group. That's not a particular rapper, but a group.
How about groups?
Outkast is probably my favorite rap group. My favorite artist, she said, what's that? My favorite artist, probably R&B, probably is Lauryn Hill. She was so good it probably drove her crazy because her album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, was probably my favorite album. And that's probably it on that.
I like you more now.
Boom. There we go. We good?
Awesome. Yeah, we good.
All right, thank you.